as ready as possible.
Well, well, better be, as we are now live. Welcome,
Oh no!
one
I
and
wasn't
all,
that ready.
to the world
People.
of Mundus.
Vietnam. What?
No,
I didn't think I'd be doing this early.
Yes, you
Where
did.
is it?
yes, you did.
Yeah, you did.
What the heck is that?
Oh,
right.
wait, who's that for?
Uh, whoever
Blind.
whoever believes it's for them.
I love
Well,
it.
then I just got slapped.
So,
We all know it's for me.
with
Quick question that actually relates to this game this time.
sure,
The temporary hit points that we got last time, is that still a thing, or did that go away?
That's expired.
When did you give that? I don't remember. Did you give that at the beginning of this day? Because technically, you guys haven't slept.
I believe I gave it at the end of my watch. The first rest we did last session.
Oh yeah, then those are gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah, they only last 8 hours.
Yeah, there was no way they'd still be up.
Yeah, I couldn't remember when you Krishnarted.
Kishnarded.
Snarted.
Are we just gonna pretend that's a word?
Yep. So
That kind of fuckery.
that is a word.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I did pretty much finish that. Nice. Not that I'll come up tonight, but yeah. So, quick announcement on my end. I have updated both the YouTube channel and the podcast are now completely up to date. Both of them have episodes up to episode 90 now.
Sweet.
Yeah, so you guys can check those out. I believe links are down below underneath the live yeah, they're below your video feed. Scroll down, check it out. I think most of them are down there. Oh, our Discord is. I thought I had our YouTube. Oh, the YouTube is on there. YouTube is there. I need to apparently make a link for our podcast.
Yep, verified. Even on Spotify, it is up to date.
Yeah. Is Spotify over there? I don't know. It should be updated
Probably
everywhere.
Probably take a day, check things, make sure everything looks right.
I believe I put it up there yesterday, so it should be up now. I think it's been 24 hours at least at this point. Other than that, I think I want to get into it because we're already 10 after 9. So,
Not yet, we're not.
For those in the
Maybe
Midwest.
time zone.
I thought technically I was
Thank you.
Midwest, just not the same Midwest as y'all.
by
Texas
being
is not
voluntold, Dinoc is going to do the recap this week. So I'm going to turn
Yep.
it over to him and let him take it away.
He was volunteered as tribute.
Yeah, pretty
and don't let me forget, Asta has it next week.
much.
Listen,
So-
I didn't volunteer for that. That was accidental.
Dinoc didn't volunteer either, so there.
Yeah, I was just straight up told. I did not open my mouth at all, and just there's a random message in Discord saying, anybody else feel like Dinoc should do the recap of this week? Lol. And then Rona's like, yes.
Yes!
And here I'm just like, shit.
Yes.
So basically,
Everybody's
Asta
like,
needs to
yes.
learn to keep her mouth shut.
And to be fair, Asta, I'm giving you a week notice. I gave Dinoc an hour.
So yeah, I crammed 2 and 45 minutes, I think the stream is, into an hour.
Ballparking it, yeah. Alrighty. Dinoc. Or Ram. Take it
It's
away.
a lot of ground to cover.
So we started off at the cliff face after being blown out its nose, basically. Traveled using me as a compass southeast, I want to say.
I thought it was
looking
just
at the map.
eastward.
No, it's southward. Southeast.
okay.
He had it right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm looking at the map, and it's like, mostly south, but a little bit east. Because I think you said it was like near a certain letter on the overgrowth we have for our map.
Correct.
I don't remember what letter, so somewhere.
I'm opening the map, so you'll have to give me just a moment. Continue on.
So we traveled, had some fun camp shenanigans our first night, where, among other things, Asta invented s'mores.
Oh yeah, that was great.
We had an uneventful watch until the morning when Cardin felt something bite his foot. As it turns out, our pet Rock hatched. So there we are. We deal with that for a little bit. Us learning dietary requirements for him. You said somewhere between 6 to 10 rations a day.
I'm nodding sagely.
You're just like, yup, sure, whatever.
Sounds about right.
Denock had the thought that maybe Rock had it imprinted on him because first thing a baby sees when it opens his eyes, usually it thinks of as parent, caretaker, or something like that. Maybe, probably, maybe not. We'll see. So we were dealing with learning about Rock, and he was acting like a puppy. Collie-sized puppy. When he stopped and stared at something, looking over, it was a squirrel! So we had fun with that shenanigan. It went up a tree. Rock was at the base of the tree, like dogs do whenever squirrel goes up a tree. It's like, come here, come here, come here, come here. So Denock grabbed it with Mage Hand, Nat 20'd it. It did the bulgy-eyed squeaky toy thing. And tossed it to Rock, who caught it, and somewhere in that exchange, it died. So Denock's like, I'm not letting Rock be sad, and I just animated it. It's like, get up. So now we have an undead squirrel. Eventually we came to a clearing with unseen things that were whispering. No one could understand it except for Katya, who basically, told us they're saying this place belongs to On. We gotta wait for On's champion or him. When they first said, we were like, who's him?
Not gonna lie, I straight up heard Kim right there, not him, and I was like, who's Kim? When did I say that?
Sorry, I must have...
Oh no, it's probably just me. Don't worry about it. Continue.
I forget where, but I do know that Hadia found herbs aplenty for potions.
Somewhere around the statue air quotes of On.
It's actually more just kind of in this kind of clearing and gladed area. Lots of potential areas for stuff to be found, and he found some with a pretty decent check.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, what he mentioned about that, there's a giant, or I think you said large, figure sitting down where the giant tree we saw comes out its back. And then a member of Cardin's tribe. I don't remember his name.
Siddiq.
Siddiq, thank you. Shows up and basically is like, among other lore drop, he is a champion of On. The statue in front of us that has the tree out its back is the physical form of On. We are in On's domain. And when Deanoch learned that the thing in front of him is what he understood is connecting On to this physical world, he had to make a roll for that one. To blight or not to blight? That was the question.
I made a nice note of that.
Yeah.
That was where reality divided into two possibilities, and in a parallel universe, Deanoch killed us all.
Maybe. If we had survived, things would have been happening. Okay, people are drawing on the screen, apparently.
Is it me this time?
Not me.
Not me.
Oh!
Oh, yeah. Fair.
Yeah, something like that.
Very much me. But
Fair enough. Siddiq communed with On, and I think someone rolled a nat 20 in that debate to
yeah, On rolled a natural 20, I believe.
theorize who to go to a temple for. And turns out, gave Deanoch maybe a clue? Question mark? To look into Knock / Anansi. Knock
Mordor.
for everyone else, Anansi for Deanoch.
Oh, sorry, I'm getting ahead. Go on.
Remember, Deanoch has different names for his gods. Same
Yes.
gods, just different names. The whole Greek-Roman kind of issue.
Basically, the names just kind of got lost in translations over the thousands of years. And yeah. So yeah.
So, if nothing else, Knock may be behind Gorbash's curse. Don't know. But it is a lead that Deanoch is going to latch onto like a bulldog. He also, among other things, we learned that there is a temple nearby that is being overrun with undead
Sounds
And
about
corruption, yes.
and corruption. I forget how we got to it, but we agreed to go clear it out.
Basically, Cardin agreed to go clear it out.
Yeah.
And
right. His paladin duties say we have no choice.
And
Yeah.
Deanoch's like, hey, maybe this one's okay. And then got a big moment where we learned that the god of death, Morton / Mortis, himself is dying. And I think that's where we cut it off.
Yes. Yes, that is where we ended. Deanoch, if you don't have the point of inspiration, please take it.
Thank you.
Yes, because I don't know if you have one or not, but
Didn't have one before. Now I
there
do.
you go. Now you do. But that is where we had left off with that kind of big lore drop of Siddiq kind of... which, mind you, Siddiq definitely looks completely different from the last time you guys saw him. He is dressed differently. He sounds and, like, physically looks the same, but he is definitely dressed differently. and you don't see as many signs of the hardship that Siddiq traveling with when you were traveling with Cardin's herd necessarily showed. But you guys had basically left with the statement hanging in the air of Siddiq going, "And the god of death is currently dying." And as you guys pick your mouse up from the floor, how do you wish to respond?
Want to repeat that one, please?
Yeah, I'm still making potions, so I'm not part of this.
Oh, yes, that's a good point. You are currently making potions, Katya, and your passive is not high enough, I would say, to be picking up on this conversation.
I am hyper focused on making sure I get this right.
So
you are.
So question.
Y'all will have to fill me in later.
Is there anything Valinar can roll to see if this makes any sense to him?
History? I suppose.
History? Oh.
Yeah, it's a pretty high DC, and as you roll that,
23.
he tells you, Dinok. He goes, "The god of death is indeed dying." With a 23 in your history check, Balinar, you would know, based on your teachings as a cleric and the upbringing in a holy place, that before the rise occurred, there was some intervention by the gods in the hands of the mortals. Whether that be through gifts of divination, weapons forged in the forges of the gods, or in some other capacity, there were a few who got involved. You don't know the specifics of who got involved, although you have been kind of enlightened recently that On was one of these gods, as it has been referenced a couple of times now, that he was On was the first of the gods to pick up arms against the demons. Your best guess, though, would be that Morton also chose to intervene in some way, shape, or form, and whatever way he intervened, he is now paying for it with his life.
Okay.
That's kind of your best guess, and even then, like I said, it's a guess. In terms of like facts or anything like that, you would not know.
Okay. So at that point, Valinar will probably pipe up and just ask, so, did Mortem come and intervene in the war?
That was a loud one.
It was my my son's dice, and it hit and it hit another one, just because. He kind of goes, "The details to me are not clear themselves, but as far as I am aware, Mortem had some hand in the means of giving the mortal realm the ability to fully ascend, the rise, if you will. It was due to part of his effort, among other individuals, that the rise was successful."
So he had something to do with the crystals.
Potentially. Again, the details escape me.
Would he know? And Dinok nods to the statue.
He would know if he was on the front line or not. I can tell you that. On was, again, on the front lines. At this point in time, I'm sure you've heard me refer to him as the first defender. He was the first of the gods to pick up a blade and fight back against the demons, and then and then when he points to the tree here, decided to create a sanctum, gave his blade onto a champion worthy of wielding it.
Does that blade still exist, or did it disappear or something?
He kind of smiles with that kind of like, that he gives that smile that Robbie Downey Jr. gives when talking to the Peter Parker in the Spider-Man movies of like cute. If you would like, you're welcome to roll an insight.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, this is actually something.
Sure. Sorry.
Can I?
Yeah, anybody who would like to can roll an insight check. It's not a very high check because he's not trying to hide it. He's just being coy.
Well,
12 would just get it, so everybody else would as well. Yes, the blade still indeed exists, and let's see, who got... Valinar, you rolled a 21.
Yeah.
Actually, Denoc, you were there too. I'll give it to you too, Denoc, because 19 is pretty good as well. You guys have a feeling that you guys saw it when Siddiq pulled it from a wall just before Carden vanished within the hole that he pulled it from.
As I thought.
Yep.
This would have been the large kind of rune blade that he wielded during the siege of Carden's people. But he stands there, smiling.
yes. Carden is standing there smiling.
And so is Siddiq.
Hello, Siddiq.
We've been here for a while now, Carden. Hello.
Yes, yes. I'm trying to. What is
good there,
going
Blind?
on? I'm a bit, yeah. What was I going to say?
That tracks.
It does.
Tired. Okay.
He's just getting into his character.
If only his character would get into someone else.
Okay.
Okay. What did Siddiq say again? That took me off track.
Oh my lord. He said hello, I've been here for a while.
You got any whiskey yet tonight?
No, I have not.
That's sad.
I have not had a single drink tonight.
Ooh,
That's
that
the
sounds good,
problem.
actually.
I'll just avoid it for the night.
What?
Oh dear.
It's probably because we were watching Jackass 4.5 before we got on. Okay.
Yeah, that's
So your brain is just straight up off. I get you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many brain cells did you lose?
All
Too
of
many.
them.
He didn't have a lot to begin with. Ugh, can you tell we're friends, guys?
I have
He
a
gone-
lot.
He
I have a
he had
lot
a
of brain cells to spare.
he went from what few wrinkles he had left. Now he's pure smooth brain.
Humans only use like 5% of their brains.
Yeah, but it's only because of the wrinkles we get in our brains
Are you
that
sure
we're actually
about
smart
that?
enough.
I'm
And
pretty sure that's a myth.
And it's people like you who use less. Or no, that's not the burn I want. And it's people like you that bring that average down to the 5%.
Oof.
Maybe I'm just so smart that I space over things.
Anyway, have you remembered what it is you were wanting to say?
I want to remember what I was told, so I can say what I was going to say.
He told you he smiles and says, "Hello, Cardin. We have been here a while."
Okay. Yes, we have been here a while. Why does the domain of On look so off?
Off. What do you mean?
Like it's shrinking. It's like we're here in this foresty, luscious area for nature, and yet you can almost see it slowly dying. I know that we were told that death was dying, but why?
So the forest itself is part of On's domain, and here, where you would have passed through the thicker part of the canopy and forest in order to get here, and that is going to largely be due to the connection that On has with the Feywilds. In terms of the reach of his current domain, it is being affected and slowly shrinking due to the corruption that is currently being held at his temple. Again, not far from here. The first temple of On has been corrupted, and if it is fully lost, On will lose his ability to produce the plant. Will lose his ability to produce certain plants that he currently is in need of.
So is our quest to plant these specific plants to regrow On?
No. If you can clear the temple of the corruption that is within, On will regain not all, but a portion of his power. And if you bring the relic within the temple to On, he will grow even more so, potentially being able to divide his attention of both here on the I burped, the material plane, as well as the realm of the gods, where he can better use his knowledge of plants and nature.
And that is what we shall do. We need to know the direction and where this temple is located so we can clear this out. It would definitely be in On's best interest, in which case it would be ours as well.
It's sort of to the east of here. Not terribly far. Maybe maybe about a day's journey if you proceed uninhibited. Once you reach the edge of the current domain of On, you'll see the corruption within the greenery. It's unmistakable.
Okay. And are there any specific dangers we should be aware of in this area, as it's obviously not part of our normal mortal plane?
While you reside within the domain of On, no. But once you cross that boundary, be careful. For that is where the end of his protection extends to. And you will be on your own.
So On is letting us go on our own.
I almost made that joke.
Thank you.
Apparently, that's what I do more than anything else anymore.
I mean,
That's what you're
y'all
good for.
see our banner, right?
Yeah.
I think I can put it on the stream again. There it is. There's a banner. Bam! Womp.
Ah, it's so good.
It is.
I love that hand.
Props to Ginger.
I know. Once again, shout out to Ginger. If you don't follow him on Twitter or his art, he's got a link on his Twitter to his art stuff. Go follow him.
You know what the username is?
I'm gonna find it and put it in chat. So, while you guys continue to RP.
Guys, we should probably go to this temple.
I mean, that was our plan
I feel-
already.
Yes, I know it was our plan already, but I now more so feel that it's my sacred duty to.
Just now you're feeling it's your sacred duty. Even though we were told it was the first temple of On being invaded by undead a while ago.
I'm a brand new paladin, okay?
How
not
close am
into
I
this
to finishing
sacred
these
duty
potions?
shit.
Would you were gonna attempt to make superior ones, weren't you?
I believe. Or was it Supreme?
The biggest ones, right?
The
That was
biggest ones. I was able to make 2 of them or work on 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, boys.
Well, I'm assuming you guys are gonna want to attempt to spend the night
Yeah.
before going out, and since it's like mid-afternoon, that way you guys aren't traveling too much during the night or anything like that. You would be able to finish probably one of them before bed.
Okay.
Assuming you can make a decent check for me here as you continue to work and brew and this other stuff. But
What am I rolling?
Probably
it's-
heard.
we haven't quite finished to the point of where I think you can roll yet. I just want to make sure there are no
Okay.
further questions before you guys decide to set up camp.
Denox debating on a choice here. And it's not the kind of choice he almost made last time.
Thank God.
You mean you don't want option B over here?
Option B is a more difficult path.
Part of Romulus does want to see what would happen.
Maybe we could do that as a one-off.
That's about all it would be.
Yeah.
Anyway. What are you thinking? Do you need some help talking it through? What's up?
Denoc wants to ask on himself some questions, but
Okay.
he's not quite sure what questions he wants to ask.
Okay. I will say I do believe it was explained last week of how you could talk to him yourself.
Yeah, giving mana or magic.
Yeah, basically you got to pump a spell slot into him in order to speak with him, or you can do the I believe it's like commune or something like that, the equivalent thereof. But only a few members of the party can actually perform that spell, and I don't believe you are one of them.
Nope.
So if you wish to,
Obviously not.
I think I might be the only one that is.
I actually think Cardin can cast commune.
At first level? Is it a first level spell?
I'm pretty
It's not
sure
a
it's a
first spell.
I'm pretty sure it's a barbarian thing.
I have speak with animals.
Oh,
That
At
explained a
10th
lot.
level, you get spirit walker. You can cast commune with nature.
Oh yeah, I can cast commune with nature.
It's
And
not
considering On is the source of nature.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes
This-
sense.
Yeah, in the considering you are in his domain, I would literally just say this is commune with On instead of commune with nature. Okay, that's funny. So,
Now, will liketh to speaketh to
The fuck?
on.
blind above game. He's internal monologuing.
I know.
What's
That's
Asta
why I was-
doing, by the way? I'm curious. What's Asta doing? Cardin's having an aneurysm. Valinar and Denock are picking their jaws up, and Katya is sweating over a test
Yes.
tube.
Asta.
I was
If you look-
thinking, all right?
If you look over at Katya, you'll see that he, not she at the moment, because focusing real hard, is wearing the Eyes of Charming, those goggles, as kind of eye protection.
Okay. Would Asta be doing anything specific in this time, or would she kind of just be following the larger part of the group?
She's just kind of taking it in and trying to come up with her own theories on how the god of death is dying. Or I guess you kind of already explained that, didn't you?
Technically, only Valinar would know that information, because he has currently not shared it with anyone else.
sorry.
Alright,
Which piece of information? I was typing something.
Why death is dying.
Oh,
Because that's what he's good at.
He doesn't usually do it with himself, though, so...
Yeah,
Wouldn't that be
currently,
the ultimate honor and display of your own power if you're able to kill yourself as the god of death?
but currently Valinar is the only one that would know that information. He has yet to share that information with the group, but you do
I'm so
know
good
that you do know that the god of death is dying, so you can begin to formulate your own theories on why he's dying. Again, the stuff that Valinar
We had to
knows is
listen
also
to
only
Garden
speculation.
too long.
Alright, so during this time, Asta's basically just coming up with her own theories on why or how that could be happening, but really what she's most curious about is if death dies, who takes over?
That's the question.
We
isn't
don't know
it?
yet.
well, I was gonna say, Valnar is wondering if death dies, does that mean everyone stops dying?
Or
Ooh.
does everyone just instantly die with him?
Perhaps it means no safe passage to the afterlife.
Or everyone's just doomed to always be in limbo?
Exactly.
Do you want to find out? I can show you the fast path. It happens to be right. It happens to be right
Katya's
over
been
here.
there a few times, so
I've been there once.
I thought you've been there at least twice.
I've been dying, but I've only died once.
So,
Eh.
have you? Do you
Close
have any?
enough.
Do you have any questions there, Denock, or are you good to hold off for a little bit?
Uh,
I mean, the real question is do you want other people to see you go up and touch on?
Oh my.
well, I mean,
What you shouldn't say is, hey, does that turn you on?
Oh god, don't give him ideas. Also, not to interrupt,
Smack.
not interrupting. Uh, did you describe what the god of death looks like? If so, I don't remember.
No, because none of you guys have ever seen him.
I imagine he looks like just a normal guy in a suit.
This is not supernatural.
It looks like-
I'm just imagining supernatural now.
yeah.
Now look what you done.
Yeah.
Death tightens his gloves. Bring it.
Death
Wait,
asked
I've
for-
got it. All we gotta do is
Death
bring
asked
Death
for-
some pizza.
Anyway,
Death asked for a chili dog.
Yes, that's how we fix him.
all right, come on now. Reel it back in. So, Dianoc, if you would like some more time to think on questions,
Yeah.
that is perfectly fine. We are, as we begin to head into the evening hours of this day, as you guys are kind of beginning to settle down and kind of just, at this point, set up camp and watch Katya work.
I'm grumpy. Somebody bring me a sandwich.
The first thing I want Katya to do is make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Oh no.
This is to represent kind of like your endurance. You're good at con. You should be.
Yes, I am. Oh, that's a 12.
Okay? As you begin to push into hour 4 in making these this potion.
Oh, this is hard work.
One potion. Oh yeah, you're making a big fucking potion. It's a lot of work. You are getting tired, but you know you are close to the end.
One final push. I could do it.
Pretty much. Now, I would like you to make a... what would this be? Hold on, I'm pulling up a, Oh my goodness, excuse me. I'm pulling up a character sheet to kind of look at skills, so don't mind me. Yeah. Okay. I would say, due to the nature of this, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do two more checks here.
Oh,
First,
jeez.
so hear me out. The first one is going to be an Arcana check, and I'm going to explain why before you roll it. Okay. The Arcana check is to basically determine how successful you are at infusing the magical properties of the herbs within a beverage, basically. I mean, this is kind of that kind of the magical aspect of a potion.
Okay.
Then you are going to make a medicine check.
Fair.
But you will also be able to apply your herbalism knowledge to that. So it would be because you're currently proficient in medicine, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, yes.
So you currently have a +4 on your check. So this would actually you would just add your proficiency bonus again to the medicine check. So this is why you are highly trained in these skills. So first off, let's do the Arcana check.
Hey, nat 20.
Natural 20 for a total of 30. That is very good. And will affect the DC of your medicine check that I will now ask you to roll.
How did you get a +10?
Oh, that was almost another nat 20. So 16.
16. He has expertise in Arcana.
Yep.
Has since episode 1.
Yep.
I've just never seen him roll that high on Arcana.
Usually he rolls pretty bad.
Yeah.
So 16 on your medicine check.
Yes.
You lucky bastard.
Yes, I am.
If it wasn't for that natural 20, you would have fucked one up.
Ooh.
But with a 16, natural 20 Arcana, at the end of, I'm gonna say, a 6-hour process, you have successfully created 1 supreme healing potion. and I would like you to add that to your inventory. And this is
All
supreme,
right.
not superior, supreme.
Okay. Have to
And-
search that.
Yep.
Aim
It is a lot.
healing. No results found. Okay, what did I do wrong?
Just go.
Potion of supreme healing.
Yeah, you could also just do healing potion and pull the biggest one. So I believe you pulled 27 27 herbs. That consumes 10 of them.
I do not see that potion in here. Oh, there we are. Potion of healing supreme. Add. Put that in my backpack.
It is a
And that
big
is
healing
10d4
potion.
plus 20. Oh, yeah.
Big heal.
Sweet. So I've still got 17d4 worth of components then.
Correct. And if you look at the list of potions, you can see how many would be required for each potion.
Yes. Potion. So greater is 4d4. Superior is 8d4.
And I'm going to go ahead and say,
10d4.
I'm going to say this now so that we have a record of it, and I will also put this in chat as well. In terms of time to make, assuming you don't fuck up the rolls, it goes 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, 6 hours. In that order, okay?
Okay.
So, and I'll work on
Dang.
putting that into chat.
I could make another supreme, but I'd be just slightly short on making a superior one.
You are also at this point pretty much exhausted. You would not be able to make any more tonight.
Fair. Then I'll call it a night.
Okay. So, as he wraps that up, and you guys can see Katya at this point basically exhausted from the work that went into creating this potion. He then pockets it, and probably, what would you do afterwards, after you were, tired and have now have an opportunity to truly look around and grasp the situation and your surroundings?
Well, we all know how that's gonna go when I'm awake, let alone exhausted. So I think I'm just gonna call it a night. Don't wake me up for watch.
Okay. Would anybody else like to do anything before we begin to establish a watch rotation?
Valinar would like to use sending a couple times.
Absolutely. Who are you sending to, and what are the messages?
Well, the first one's to Nadon, and probably, I guess maybe
Well,
freak him out. I don't know.
You know what? First off, before you do anything, roll a d100.
Me?
Oh, me?
Yeah. Yes, you, Valinar.
Oh, okay.
I was like, what happened?
They both spoke up at the same time, so
That's true.
68.
Okay. Sending goes without an
close.
issue.
Okay.
You guys are currently in a demi pocket, which is not considered
okay.
which is not considered the same plane of existence. So technically there's a 5% chance that
Gotcha.
sending could fail.
I just assumed we were in the same plane, so
Not
when
technically.
you said that, I was kind of worried for a second there that they were in a different plane.
No, you
first one's-
are technically.
Okay, cool. So, to Nadon, I'm going, do you know anything about God's dying and the repercussions of it? Because evidently Mortem is dying.
You're just gonna go ahead and just straight up throw that out, huh?
This is the person that Valnar trusts the most in the world. So,
Well, this first roll is going to determine whether or not he loses his shit. Okay, that's
that
a 16.
reverberated.
Yeah, it was my heavy die. That's a 16, so he doesn't completely lose his shit.
well, that's good.
Now let's see what he knows about gods dying. That's par for the course. There's kind of a moment, a brief pause in time, and you can almost feel the slack-jawed look that he normally would have given you for doing something incredibly stupid. Before there's a response of, didn't know that was possible.
Hey.
Would it a god dying? That Valinar, that can't be possible, right? Right? That's pretty much the end of it.
Great. Fantastic. Now he gets to worry because we're going to have some awkward silence. I'm going to message someone else.
Okay.
So we're going to message Shia, something I've been meaning to do for a while. So D100.
Yes, please. 'Cause that is a new...
21.
Okay. Goes through without an issue.
All right. No, so this one's to Shia. How are things going up there, and have you seen or heard about anyone that looks suspiciously like me? He's referring back to that dream he had all that time ago. He's been forgetting to ask about that.
I'm trying to very quickly... Okay, I don't believe it's that person. Come on, load. Thank you. Okay, not that person. Okay, so okay. You would hear back, Valana, it's been some time.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm counting words.
Oh no, you're good.
There's been rumored spottings of you across the island, but nothing concrete. We believe mostly hearsay. Pretty much be the end of that message. I'm pretty sure that's close to 25.
Okay. Yeah, I'm typing something out for a message.
You're good. Don't mind me while I open my own Word document, so I can do the exact same thing. I don't have my clickety-clack keyboard hooked up tonight, though, so hopefully it doesn't pick up as much as it used to.
Okay, apparently I can't.
Apparently
I don't know what words are.
I hope my mic's not picking up all my typing.
I think you're good.
Okay, good.
The only clacking I've heard so far has been what Valinar's been typing.
I'm sorry, I have a loud keyboard.
If I was typing, you'd all
Dang.
hear my keyboard.
Where?
My lord, over here, I'm just going like a mile a minute.
My typewriter or my keyboard
My
is
typewriter.
well, it is.
Yeah, we don't hear it.
No, it is. It's like in the style of a typewriter, and it actually like makes a typewriter sound.
Oh lord.
That's actually kind of cool.
It
Yeah.
is cool.
Very
So-
steampunk.
So
Yeah,
so does it
changes
also
colors.
make that that ba-ding noise after like every like 80 characters?
It doesn't, but I have an actual real typewriter that does.
Ah,
Oh.
You know,
That
you
is
can
old.
set
I guess.
something up to just every
Gosh,
time you hit
dang
and oh,
Sorry, I'm at 26 words.
Cut one out.
Abbreviate.
contract one. You know, like
We've been playing for less than an
Actually,
hour. I've got a full
I can
page of
take this
notes.
part out. This part is not necessary. Okay, I think I should be good now. Okay, so we're gonna change tracks back to Nadon.
All right. Go ahead and roll on
And-
your another D100.
Yep,
Just because.
Watch it fail. Watch it fail.
No,
15.
you're good.
Oof.
Okay, so the one to Nadon is, I trust the source. Do you remember anyone who looked like me? Looked like me during the times when you were looking for me?
Referring to when you were on the run, right?
Referring to basically when we saw the Black Spirit of Nadon, when he kept getting like killed repeatedly or whatever that was.
Okay, one moment here.
Okay. I meant to do all this a long time ago, and I just kind of forgot with everything that started happening.
Yeah, dude, it's fine.
fair enough.
Welcome to life.
Good old life.
Hold on, I wanna get I gotta find a name. Okay. Make a roll real quick. Yeah, fuck. All right. You get a response of no. When things go dark, I only saw you. I know Pamela is still trying to turn the city upside down to find you. Shit. That's where it ends.
Could have sworn I told her I'm not even on the island, but apparently she didn't believe me for some reason. Go
You
figure.
You say out loud to the surrounding area.
Yep, exactly.
What?
Oh, I tried to save my island by telling Palama I'm not on the island, and no, she's still going crazy. Actually, no, that building that fell from the sky might have been her trying to find me.
Huh.
Sorry, yeah, lots of thoughts. All right. Great. Also, just real quick, more gut reaction than anything. Based on that,
Mhm.
another quick 4th level to cast it again
Okay.
to Nadon because of what just happened.
Okay. Goes through.
And Valnar just goes, "What the fuck just happened?" And that's it, because the last message just ended on shit.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
And I'm trying to think how he would phrase this.
Drop call.
Sorry, the person you were trying to reach cannot be reached. Please leave your message after the...
Sorry, the person you are sending cannot be sent at this time.
Please leave your message after the beep. Wait.
You get a reply.
Okay.
It is a single word, and it is laced with hatred, fear, and a desire to get away from. As the only word that is returned in the message is Pamela.
Okay. Great. Great. Great.
Hello.
Great. Fan-freaking-tastic. And Valnar's saying all this out loud, by the way.
You good, bro?
I don't think I've ever heard Nadon is... I guess the proper term would be freak the hell out. Freak the fuck out. Apparently, the bitch came for him. And he was more panicked about that than learning that Mortem's dying.
Dinok, can you make a perception check for me, please?
$17?
It's faint. But ever so faintly, behind Valinar, you can kind of see these dark shadows kind of coalesce
Wait.
kind of behind him. It just kind of hang there for a moment. It's faint.
Wait.
Like the force of this creature is hanging on a thread between life and death.
But it's the same thing we've been seeing.
Correct. But you guys have seen it before. It's been a while.
Yeah.
But it seems like whatever force it is currently barely hanging in there at the moment.
Well, apparently she's doing the thing again, because I'm seeing
Wait. Where?
behind you again.
Look in the direction Dinok's pointing. I just kind of go, just tell her I'm in a weird pocket dimension.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't even look like you can fully get here anyway.
Doesn't seem to have any reaction.
Of course.
Anyway, as that has kind of transpired, and we take a couple minutes for you to kind of ponder on all of this. As D not come up with any questions, he desires to question the god on.
I've got a few.
Okay. Just for your reference, I'm going to go ahead and just say this out loud for you. Because I don't remember if I specified it last time or not. Basically, for every leveled spell that you sacrifice and give to On, You get 1 minute per level to speak with him, basically. That is
Better talk fast.
that is the length of time you have to speak with him.
Can I end it early if I still have time left?
You would, but you would still use the spell slot, yes.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So, while people are distracted with apparently Valinar's breaking down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna try and just kind of nonchalant, quiet walk towards On.
I'm pretty sure even Katya would notice you, but
And I'm sleeping.
that's just true. You saunter away. Nobody really seems to care, I don't believe. Nobody would stop Denock if he walks away, correct?
Valnar
If I'm
is too
sto-
preoccupied with his own thoughts.
If I
That's
manage
hard.
to stop Denock from walking away, there's something seriously wrong with everything.
Okay.
Cardin and Asta?
Nope.
I noticed you walking away. I just don't care.
Okay.
Alright. So you walk away to the best of your knowledge, Denock, stealthily. As nobody
Yep,
seems
totally.
to
Nobody saw
notice you. As nobody seems to, at the very least, pay attention to you.
He's going to walk up to the statue, form, whatever.
Mm-hmm. The massive.
Look at it for a minute.
The massive, motionless, guardian-like presence of what you now know as On. Sitting motionless.
For some reason, I just can't help but think of the Crucible Knight antler helm. Would I be wrong?
Perhaps.
I don't know.
Elden Ring.
You said what? Ant what?
Crucible Knight antler helm.
Sorry, I just need a visual because it's been a while.
The thing the spear guys wield.
I have a visual now. I mean, not entirely. It definitely fits the vibe of what he currently exists as.
Just more tree-like.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, my headcanon is he looks like a wooden tree sentinel. Or not tree sentinel, but Crucible Knight.
Yeah, sort of. Minus the armor. He wouldn't be in any kind of armor in this form, but yeah.
Then what would he be wearing?
From
Nothing. He's a god.
Well, from what you can tell based off of the the statue and stuff like that, it looks like it would have been simple, very similar to like what Siddiq is currently wearing. These kind of like brown, plain kind of clothing that is pretty minimalistic.
Hmm.
Definitely not the lavish kind of impression that you've gotten from some of the other gods due to the temples and inflation that your city has gone through.
Okay. That's just Rom just seeing something that's not there then.
It happens.
Because you didn't really describe what the statue looks like. You just said big statue with tree out back.
That's true. But it's also kind of hard to describe a god. Which is also part of the reason why I like to leave it up to interpretation.
So yeah, Denoth's gonna look at it for a minute. Sigh to himself. Can't believe I'm doing this. Lay his hand on it. And for the absolute living fuck, cast a 6, both 5th, and his 3/4.
Ooh, so you're doing the 6, 2/5, and you said one other?
3/4.
3/4. So that is
23 minutes.
yeah, that'll be plenty of time. I would assume. I would hope.
Not only is he getting time, he's also like, might as well give him as much as I can because apparently this thing is important. As much as he doesn't like assisting a god, this god gave him the closest thing he's had to a lead yet.
Yeah. Okay. As the magic leaves your body, you can feel your consciousness sort of dragged with the magic into this kind of creature itself and out through the back and into the tree itself as you feel the consciousness expand into this ever surrounding area, and whiteness kind of overtakes it before a gentle forest kind of returns to your vision. Different from where you were previously, this area, while very lush, is more maintained and not as overgrown, if you would. And kind of standing across the way from you, kind of in this kind of larger clearing that you currently standing, kind of closer to a small brook, kind of leaning on a large rock, looking down at the water, kind of turns his head over towards you. You see kind of an older man, kind of dark-skinned, this kind of black kind of hair with these kind of peppers of white throughout the beard. He doesn't look overly tall or massive. He seems to be mostly average human build. Honestly, if you didn't know any better, you would mistake him for a commoner of sorts. His clothes, while not necessarily tattered, are kind of dirty. They're very similar to the robes that Siddiq was wearing. They have these kind of this kind of like tannish brown color to them. Some parts are kind of like you can see like mud and dirt on his shirt and kind of on the pants that he wears, and the sandals that currently are on his feet. You can see the rough pattern of the rough pattern of calluses on the bottoms and sides of his feet. And he kind of turns over to you and just kind of goes, "You were the one asking that Siddiq asked for a question for. Was you not? Your time has begun."
Yes. Well, if the artists of Hofkeen got you as wrong as they did, I suppose it makes sense why the priests were as useless as they were.
Sorry, I'm gonna change.
Honestly, I was expecting you to have a goat head and cloven hooves.
Not everything is as fantastic as that. But if you would prefer an image like that, I could accommodate one for you.
No, that's fine.
Oh, really loud. Sorry, I'm just changing music a little bit. Way too loud, but yeah.
Yeah, that was sudden.
Yeah, sorry.
I legit thought that was the sound of him transforming, and you were getting into like a new form of visual effect, or
I
audio effect.
I wish, but he kind of goes, very well. I can feel that you have put a vast amount of energy into this conversation, so I assume you have many questions, or at the very least, desire a conversation that is going to last several minutes.
Not so much. I only have a handful of questions. Most of the magic was. Here, he actually reaches back behind his neck, just kind of scratching it. More of a way to pay you back for the lead
Kind of,
on Anansi.
of course, love is a powerful tool and motivator. And I'd hate to see somebody robbed of something so precious in this world as early as, well, you have. And it's unfortunate that you have spent the number of years that you have in dedication to finding a means of lifting that curse.
Here, Deanoch just kind of leans back a little bit, looking into the sky. What time of day is it here?
Here? Hard to tell.
Like, is it sunlight?
It is sunny. It definitely feels like a warm spring kind of afternoon.
Okay,
but
so-
you look up and you don't see the sun, and it kind of feels like the light is kind of emanating from somewhere above, maybe everywhere above. You're not really sure.
Mm-hmm. I suppose my questions. I suppose I only have 3 then. Here, Deanoch looks to. I'm just going to use Deanoch's culture's name for him.
Sure.
So when I say pan, I mean on.
Mm-hmm. And every time you say Pan, he kind of nods, kind of understanding that that is another name for him. So, continue as you will.
I don't suppose you know the number of the undead in your temple? Or any easily exploitable weaknesses of demons, or even I feel like we're going to have to fight the Sleeping King at some time.
I do not know what lies within the temple. The temple is outside of my domain that your body currently finds itself in. And unfortunately, I am not aware of anything outside of that region. In terms of something to combat somebody like the Sleeping King, I would recommend keeping your He, like, pauses for a moment, like trying to figure out the proper word. The the holy man that travels with you. At the very least, he claims to be. He says, kind of says with a smile, and definitely keep him nearby. His affinity for, well, the radiant energy that can be produced by celestials and other followers of religions will be very valuable going up against really any undead. And the Sleeping King, who tends to command legions of undead, most likely will have some kind of sensitivity to this as well.
So basic undead comeback. That makes sense.
And unfortunately, I don't know more. The Sleeping King was not exactly a individual within close circles with myself.
Well, thought I'd at least try that one.
You have a plate against one of his followers, do you not? I can sense the malice within you.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you could acquire this individual in a means of submission, perhaps you could gather information from him. Unfortunately, I do not know the details of your plight or this individual.
I'ma make an... For connecting 2 points, that would be wisdom, right?
Or intelligence, I'll allow either or.
I almost feel this would be more of a wisdom, because you're taking 2 points of data and turning them into information.
That's fine, if that's what you wish to roll.
Straight 10.
I mean, I would say you could make whatever conclusion about that you wish.
So, if we got his skull again and used Speak with Dead. Huh.
Perhaps, or perhaps, something even more powerful. Oh, fuck, what did Scientia call it?
Here, Dino's gonna kind of have... His eyes are gonna bulge a little bit hearing a god swear.
Well, I rolled an 8. However, with bonuses of a god, it's still pretty good. Oh, that's Soul Cage, I believe, is the name of it. It would actually capture the soul of the creature, preventing it from being reborn or reincarnated, at the very least for the duration of the spell as well. Could be more beneficial than the head. But I do know that is strong magic, and unfortunately not one that I know.
I'll suppose I'll have to look into... It almost sounds necromantic. I suppose I'll have to look into that. Maybe Maybe Zalpip would know. Something to ask Valinar to ask him.
Sorry. I just looked it up, and so anyway.
I don't suppose you know of the islands falling? If you don't know things outside of your domain.
I have bits and bobs of information about that. But unfortunately, your knowledge is about as... Honestly, your knowledge on this issue probably surpasses mine.
Who made the floating crystal?
It was a combined effort of... Shit. Flipping notes. It was a combined effort of two of my sisters, Vieta and Scientia were the ones responsible for creating the Harmony Stones that fly the islands. And then I moved them around the world so that mortals could utilize them in a more appropriate means.
Do they have a place like your domain here where I can go and speak with them?
To my knowledge, no. But Scientia is not preoccupied, so if you could find a temple to her, I'm sure there might be a little bit more that she can do. Vita and myself are also preoccupied with other endeavors. Do you have other questions? I believe your time is a little over halfway through.
I did think of one while you were just speaking.
Of course.
Okay, real quick question. Is it Martin or Martinus? The guy what teleported us.
Martinus. Martinus.
We were fighting with the servant of the sleeping king when my group was magically transported by someone named Martinus.
Kind of laughs at that and just kind of goes, "So my old man intervened in your life, huh?"
So it was him.
Yeah, Martinus, the father of the gods. What a crazy old man. You know he named that tree growing out of my back?
Wait, what?
He named it.
One, why? Two, what?
To answer the first question, I think it's a reminder to himself, as a precaution of, I don't know, getting old, losing his mind, I don't know. He named it, there you are, Septina Vita, or Via. Septima space VIA.
Could you put that in the chat?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Septium? I'll have to look at it again. Via. Like sept, like September, and then ema.
Septima.
Via. Yep, Septima Via.
Huh.
I believe it means seventh path. Not sure what that represents, if anything. That's what he had named it.
Huh. Well, that's just strange. Just straight weird. But okay.
You're telling me, and it's growing out of my back.
Sorry, that just kind of caught me off guard.
Is this something that catches D-Knock off guard as well?
A little bit, yeah. He's just like, wait, what? Oh.
Just a quick insight. He kind of catches your kind of like, huh? Oh. Remember, boy, most of us gods walked among men for years. Hundreds of thousands in some of our cases. Our etiquette, some of ours have etiquettes no better than a savage beast.
I take it you're referring to Nurgle.
He thinks he thinks for a moment as the DM pulls up his notes. He kind of like, yes. Yeah, he definitely fights like a wild animal. And then there's Knock. He kind of says his expression kind of darkens a little bit. He'd much rather see trickery played on those unwilling, unbefitting, and straight up not deserving, than actually play the role that he has been assigned, I guess is the word. What do you expect from the youngest?
Give me a second, noting that.
Hmm?
I suppose my last question. When fighting what I can only assume to be an agent of the Sleeping King, it called me something. And I figured... It called me a Shinigami. Sorry, pronunciation.
Shinigami.
Shinigami?
Shinigami. It translates to... I believe Spirit of Death.
I heard was Shinobi.
No. That that's not the right one. Shinigami. It means spirit of death. It means that individual has recognized a mark on your soul.
A mark of what?
He kind of hesitates for a moment, debating almost.
Deanox starts to clutch like just the robes over his chest. He's not looking at the god anymore. He's just kind of looking down at the ground.
Kind of just looks and he kind of like focuses for a moment and then looks up at you and kind of goes, he would have seen the the mark of my brother Mortem, the god of death, recognizing you as a potential candidate. And as he says all of that, your time expires, as I have been timing it. And
Perfect.
You pull back kind of through the tree, almost like this falling sensation for a moment before you find yourself back in your body. And your ears readjust to the sounds around you. There's a different tone here. And with that little revelation, let's go ahead and take a break, guys.
Okay.
That was a lot of information.
You think?
Yeah.
Dear Lord. I got two
That's why
pages
I was-
now.
Hang with us, guys. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Tunnel.
We are back. Well, you don't want death battle. No, that'll...
Welcome to Death Battle!
So, where we left off, Dinok had just finished with his magical conversation with On. The rest of the party setting up camp. Katya already asleep.
Yep.
Ah, okay. So, as you guys are doing said things, what would you actually, Dinok, all of this passes for you in just a few minutes. It's not like you place your hand and are now zoned out for 23 minutes. It kind of happens pretty quickly for you. What, Valinar, you have
23
been...
minutes in dog years.
Sure. Valinar, you have been stewing on some information. What are you currently up to?
Well, currently he's more freaked out about the fact that Nadon's freaked out more about Palama than Mortem dying. If that makes any sense.
She's scarier than the death of death itself.
Go ahead and just make a general intelligence check for me.
Perfect. 9.
9. That bitch scary.
Yeah, I know. I remember being scary. I just don't remember being that scary.
Maybe he knows something you don't. After all, you haven't seen her in a few months.
Oh,
Hmm.
God.
Cardin, Asta, is there anything you guys wish to be doing during this time?
Death battle.
We'll
Oh.
pick.
You guys want to fight? You and Cardin want to fight.
I mean, I said Cardin would pet Rock, but I mean, if she wants to go, I would die so horribly.
The
Like,
issue.
she literally can't miss me unless she.
I wouldn't even have to
Dude.
use my sharpshooter.
No, with your sharpshooter, you wouldn't be able to miss like unless you got. I think it's a 5 or lower. You wouldn't. You would hit.
Probably.
Maybe a
She
4
says,
or lower.
Cardin, run.
But here's the thing though, Cardin. You're faster than her.
How fast can
True.
Cardin run?
40
40.
feet a turn.
Oh, by 10 feet, you're faster.
If he's sprinting, that's by 20 feet.
It just. But the thing too, though, is he needs to get into melee to truly deal damage to you.
That's why I said run.
So.
She can't catch you.
Anyway,
Get
How
outside her
far
range.
away is she?
Does it really matter how fast you can run when I have lightning arrows?
Yes.
So
Those deal less damage than your normal sharpshooter. Okay.
Ensnaring strike.
Okay,
So-
does it really matter how fast you can run if I have Hunter's Mark?
no, Cardin, you wanted to pet Rock. Are you going to attempt to teach him anything? Or are you just kind of more or less building that relationship bond with him?
I want to try and build the relationship bond with Rock.
Okay. Go ahead and make a animal handling check for me then.
Hopefully it's an unshakable bond.
We'll find out.
Animal handling.
Wisdom is not his best stat.
It's not my worst. 7.
7. Rock seems a little distracted. He seems to be looking for something or someone. But he does
Rock,
listen
are
a
you here?
little bit.
Rock, are you here?
Tilts its head to the side. Oops, Mubby. So, you spend some time with him, trying to get him to behave. He's practically a brand new puppy. Good luck. I think that basically circles us back around to Denock. Now that you've had a moment to process, what are you doing?
Denox just kind of slumped to the ground a little bit and just kind of laying on his ass. So, marked by God of Death to be a replacement for him? Question mark. Denox just trying to understand.
Hmm.
He gets up, brushes off whatever dust, leaves, grass is sticking to him, and heads back to the camp. Just kind of meandering, slow walking, lost in thought.
Okay.
Probably passes by Cardin and Rock and reaches out to pat Rock.
Okay.
And I want to do something real quick. For
Okay.
distraction, what would I roll? Like, if I was distracted.
Um. I guess like a wisdom check.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say if I rolled under 10, I would ask if I didn't pet the wrong one.
Yeah, if you rolled low, I was gonna say you walk by, pat Carden on the head, and keep walking. No, you pet Rock and just make an animal handling check for me real quick. While you do so, as you're kind of walking by. Okay, you kind of pet him on the head, and he kind of like nuzzles into it a little bit. And he then watch as you go, and he kind of looks to Carden like, "Why?"
Aaron shrugs.
And you keep walking, Dinoc.
Yep, I'm gonna walk up to the fire and just kind of plunk down.
Okay. The small fire you guys have going is present and warm.
I'm just gonna kind of think about everything. Reach down and scratch what fur probably remains on the squirrel.
Okay.
Because I'm betting it's starting to fall off.
Some of it is, yeah. Some of it's been pulled off by Rock as well. You do so.
Daddy, I miss home.
As Katya sleep talks.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Then, if there's nothing else, we'll move on for the night. Anyone have anything?
Yep. Nope.
I don't
Going
think so.
once, going twice. Sold to the man in the middle. Alright, that means, because you guys are currently within the domain of On, you do not need to technically keep watch, as his domain is demon free, and you all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Yeah. Do. Long rest complete.
Which is why I was so okay with dumping all that magic.
Uh-huh. You kind of needed it too, huh?
Yeah, I thought it would be real quick, but
Talking takes time, dude. As morning comes, Siddiq has already began setting out breakfast materials and begun food for everybody. You guys are welcome to partake. You guys can go ahead and Carden. You can also go ahead and mark that Rock has had his has had 3 of his rations for the day, as Siddiq has made plenty. He is shocked at the amount of food that Rock will put away, but nevertheless, he has made
He will.
plenty.
Yes. I marked them.
Okay.
Thank
Morning
you
is
so very
yours.
much for this breakfast.
so I did the thing Cedric did last night. And yeah, it's straight up, you dump magic into that statue and you can talk to On himself.
Wait.
Really?
Hang on. You talk to a god willingly?
I'm not sure which is more surprising, the fact that you could talk to a god or the fact that Dinoc did it willingly.
I don't know
Okay,
what's more
look,
shocking, that or
wait.
Kartia still sitting at the fire.
Or was Carden there and did he force you to do it?
No. I turned to Valnar. You remember how Siddiq told me about Knock? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, I decided part of last night was to and this Diok just kind of fumbling words, and it's just
You could say it was an epiphany.
it was a way for me to pay back him giving me a lead. I also had a few questions,
Fair enough.
and so far, On has been the most straightforward I've ever had access to.
He is on point.
You also had what I assume was a direct connection to On instead of going through a middleman.
Yeah. I mean, considering in Hofkeen, all statues of On, or Pan as we call him, have him as a goat-headed, cloven-hooved centaur-esque creature. And he looked like average Joe from down the street.
I like to imagine there was a guy named Average and his last name Joe down the road from where Denock grew up.
They don't ever really look the way you truly expect them to, do they?
I just expected that most gods have either an image befitting their title or look just like the rest of us, so we would never know if they were there with us.
Yeah, but
I mean,
if they
like-
got if the priests of my island got that wrong, you know, what else could they have gotten wrong, including how the god wants his worshippers to act? Maybe it
Connor's kind of.
was
Oh, sorry.
maybe it was just all this time I've fully believed that the gods told their followers to reject healing. And honestly, I didn't have any reason not to believe. No, no direct evidence. Now, Deanot kind of puts the sides of his head in his hands. Now I don't even know what to think anymore. All I know is my best lead is the old knocker.
Get them old knockers.
Visible confusion on Deanok's part now. The fuck?
Well, it is Carden.
I know, but there's times even expecting Carden to be Carden, I still get surprised.
Just stop trying to figure out what goes through his head.
All I know is when I'm done eating here, I've got a question to ask myself.
So every level of spell you dump. So I dumped multiple spells and got about 26 minutes. I think. No.
23.
20. Somewhere
23?
between 26 and 20. I didn't keep count.
Man, time must really be messed up to be messing with your memory.
Well, you certainly know more about magic and whatever you were just talking about. I'll just put
So-
in. I'll put in whatever I feel like would be enough.
So, okay, quick question. If I cast a 3rd level spell, would I get 3 minutes?
Correct.
I'm just... Okay. So yeah. For every level of spell, you get a minute for that level. So if you cast a 3rd minute, you'd get 3rd level, you get 3 minutes.
Okay, I think I follow, but I don't understand this whole levels thing. So, all right.
Because his magic's innate.
Yeah. So with that, as Katya finishes eating, I'm gonna go try my hand, and we'll see what happens.
Cool. Use up your magic before we leave so we don't blow ourselves up.
As
The hope is to not blow myself up.
you walk over to the tree. While you do so, what are the rest of you doing? Other than eating breakfast.
Work more on that scroll.
Working more on the scroll, okay.
Do you need me to help you?
We've had 2 sessions, right?
Yeah.
If Enoch wants to help, he's welcome to. If not, Valnar can attempt to figure it out on his own.
Oh no, if you need help, Neok is more than happy for a distraction.
I will gladly take the help.
Okay. Both of you guys make the predetermined rolls. I believe it was a charisma for Denock and an arcana for Valnar.
I'm gonna give me guidance.
Okay.
18 for... Do you...
Roll
do
the
you have
D4.
inspiration?
What was that?
You lost him.
I said roll the D4.
I heard like 3 things at once right there. Sorry.
Do you have
Hey!
inspiration?
Oh, Denock inspiration?
No,
Oh.
do you have?
Oh,
We
no, I don't
should-
have inspiration. I don't
have
do
2
any.
We have 2 rerolls available.
Oh, cool. Do you guys care
Yeah.
if I use one? So that I don't
Go for it.
completely, utterly fail this?
Go for it.
I'm
Somehow
fully
this
fine
is
with
going to
that.
be work. What?
I'm fully fine. Do it.
I'll so
Okay.
laugh if this is a nat 1.
Now it's a 19.
Ooh. I'm gonna go ahead. Hold on, I'm changing the document real fast from 2 to 1.
Oh, yeah, I was about to do that. Okay.
Nope, you're fine. That's part of what I'm here for. 19 Arcana then, and an 18 Charisma. You're unsure of whether it's the motivation behind the information that you guys have recently just got, but for whatever reason, today, that this information about the spells and scribing them down on paper is clicking a lot. And Valinar, you have a pretty good feeling about being able to start transcribing the spell from your memory onto parchment. Trying to remember. Because I think you guys have paper and ink for that spell, correct?
I
Yes.
think so, because that was part of the deal.
Yeah, we should have enough for us to make...
I think 2 scrolls. 1 for him, 1 for you.
Yeah.
Okay. You know that it'll definitely take time to create the spell, Valinar. So, oh, excuse me. Going forward, you will be able to start working on the spell scroll itself. So, fortunately, that means you don't really need to make any more rolls. Kind of going forward. Unfortunately, that means you're basically just left with time. And oh boy, do you need time.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken... Oh, hold on, I'm looking for my... Oh, that's way different than what I had Katya do. That's okay. Where is
Hiccup?
the... Oh no, the creation of healing potions. I didn't realize it was outlined, but it's there. Where is the spell scroll?
Really? There's a wave to do that?
Uh-huh.
Huh.
This is a 5th level spell, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
Okay. It will take... roughly, with no hiccups or anything like that, several weeks to scribe. And this is just spending, like, your evenings working on it.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Well, that's how they want you to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna scrap half of that and different. I also don't feel like healing potion stuff is super fair. Might change that stuff to days instead of weeks, but because otherwise it would actually take like four work weeks to create a supreme healing potion.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that sounds like a lot of work for. I mean, like, yeah, it's really good, but I feel like that's too much. Now, I may change it in the future so that it's not 6 hours long, but I think I might change it in the future. We'll look at that later.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, you can start just putting time into doing this, Valinar, and basically you need to spend a number of hours up to that. Let's see, for a 5th level spell, I believe it's 4 work weeks. Yeah. So basically, you need to put in. Let's see, because this is a world of 7, so it'd technically be 5. So basically, you need to put in 40 hours of time in order to complete a spell scroll. How you choose to do that is going to be up to you. And I will tell you right now, if you decide to work more than 8 hours in a day on the scroll, you will need to do checks in order to not mess it up.
Okay.
So, bear
So
that
I need to
in mind.
do. So you said 40 hours total is what I need to reach.
Yes, because it's 4. Wait, did I do that right? No.
I don't. That doesn't sound right.
That's 1 work week.
Yeah.
So, what's
160?
Yes, 160 hours. I was like, oh, that doesn't really sound like a lot. Yeah, you need 160 hours. Mobby, I can math, guys. 160 hours. Doing more than 8 hours in a day will require you to do some kind of check.
Okay.
So, alrighty. With that, Katya,
That's me.
you touch a tree. Well, you touch a
Touch
man
the tree.
inside of a tree.
Oh my. Okay.
How much magic you dumping in?
Enough for 10 minutes worth, so that's combined of 4, 3, 2, and 1.
Okay.
All your mana.
Not all of it.
Let's
But
see. You're a
a
wild magic
small portion.
sorcerer. Will you roll? No, I'm kidding.
Oh no.
Okay. So, you as well very much kind of see this same kind of vision that I had described to Deanoch as your consciousness is basically pulled from your body and thrusted into a different kind of clearing overgrowth. You can see the kind of babbling brook nearby, as well as the same man I described to Deanoch, the darker skinned kind of peasant looking man who kind of turns to you and goes, "Well, you're a new face, and your time has begun."
Well, I guess the first question for the DM is, am I male or female in this appearance?
Here you would be female,
Okay.
because it's your soul.
Are you the god known as On?
I am.
Okay. So, I didn't get all the specifics on how this works. How long would you say I have for asking questions?
Kind of like closes his eyes for a moment and like feels the air around him. Probably 10 minutes or so.
Well, I hope this isn't a really long-winded explanation then. As you see me right now is what I am supposed to be. However, in the material plane, I have the body of a man. I made the mistake of mixing magic with alchemy probably a couple years ago, and I've been stuck in a man's body ever since. And I've been all around the place asking magic scholars and librarians and whomever might have information on it what the deal is, and the most information I've gotten so far is I have a tangled weave. How does that work, and how can it be undone?
I will do my best to answer your question, but unfortunately that is not my area of expertise. This would be a question more suited for my sister, Scientia. But it is my understanding and knowledge that, if not all, but maybe not all, but most magic in the world comes from the ley lines that travel throughout Mundus. And these ley lines are practically reminiscent, almost a copy of the weave that resides within each and every one of us. We control the flow of magic through these veins, if you will, in order to produce magic. Some individuals can do this a little bit more freely, while others, and he gestures to you, struggle. And due to this struggle, there's complications. Some are born with these complications, others are not. That is my knowledge on the subject. Unfortunately, I don't know more than that, and I do not, unfortunately, know how to solve your current predicament.
So some could be born with complications. Are you able to tell if I'm one of those?
I could try. And he kind of walks over, and he starts to like reach out towards you and then stops and then kind of goes, Uh, is it okay? He kind of gestures as if he's like reaching for your head.
Yes, I've had worse happen, believe me.
He kind of places his hand on your head, and he's a pretty big individual. Like, he's not massive, but you can definitely tell that the hands he currently has is
His presence is
kind of
bigger than he
calloused.
appears.
Oh, absolutely. Make a check. Not great.
Which tracks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the god of nature, not the god of magic.
But magic is a natural thing. I figured as much.
For some, it is.
Hmm. Gotcha.
Hmm. Hmm. It would appear that, and correct me if the terminology is not the same, but it would appear that you are what would be considered an original,
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
which
I've
which
had my blood
means
tested. Yes.
Mhm. Which means that you are an individual who was born with a tangled weave. And the matter that it didn't manifest prior to your incident, you could call dumb luck, or just that the magic itself hadn't manifested to the appropriate degree at that point in time.
That sounds about right. I didn't use much magic up until recently. I've used it more since the mishap. Trying to understand it better. I don't think I'll ever reach the level that Denock has with his knowledge of magic is insane. He can explain how it works. He said something about spell levels and applying slots to buy time with you. I said all I do with magic is feel.
Mm-hmm. And that feeling is kind of the same thing that Tinoch has to do. But think about it this way. Let's think about it in terms of something not related to magic. Let's think of it as like a competition, for example. Denock, your friend, is an individual who has to train and train and train to get as good as he is. Whereas you simply walk up and say, I'm gonna try this. And you do it. And you do it very well.
And sometimes I don't know what happens. And sometimes it ends in complete and utter failure.
Well, that is part of an experience of learning. And something you should not just dismiss.
So when I try to cast a spell to help my allies and I end up throwing a fireball at my feet instead, that's part of the learning process?
Well,
I don't understand.
let me ask you this. Does that feeling have a specific feeling every time it occurs? And is it not easier to recognize and suppress that kind of a feeling when it occurs?
Well, yes. I see.
Then you're learning.
It is a
And
learning process. Okay.
Your time is nearly up. Do you have any other questions?
Does Scientia have a domain like yours?
Kind of laughs and goes, No, not to my knowledge, but she's less busy than some of her siblings and has the ability to, I don't want to say engage, but a higher likelihood of attempting to engage mortals within her own temple and or worship.
Okay. So I should do what I was told to do originally and try to find a temple to Scientia.
Sure, if that's what is most comfortable for you.
I'm not opposed to the idea. I don't fear the gods like Dinok seems to.
Didn't really feel afraid of me. Afraid is not the word I would use.
Well, more like aloof.
Hmm.
Ever since what's happened to his wife, he hasn't been exactly trusting towards higher beings.
And I can understand why if Nock is at play.
Oh, Nock's the one?
He hasn't told you. Well, I suppose it would be better coming from him than it would be from me. After all, you are pretty much out of time. It was good speaking with you. Katya, was
Katya.
it?
Yes.
Katya.
Or Catherine.
Well then, safe travels. And
Thank you.
are rushed backwards to your body as your 10 minutes has passed.
That went fast.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah.
How do you think I felt?
Yeah, he had twice the amount of time.
And it still felt like it just disappeared.
It wasn't enough.
More.
You're welcome to spend more at the beginning of your day here. I'm not
Nah,
going
I'm
to stop
good.
you from burning your spell slots.
I didn't have a whole lot to ask. I was just wondering about that.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly more insight than I already had.
Yeah. Dude, great idea. Unfortunately, it's just the wrong god.
Of course. We haven't seen any temples to Scientia really in our journeys yet.
Well, I mean,
Actually, we have.
We have?
Every single library.
Seriously?
technically speaking, that would work in a capacity. After
Well,
all, she
every
is-
library I've been in, I've searched for information and haven't found what I'm looking for yet.
But that's because you're
Have
looking
you
for
asked-
information. You're not looking for a shrine to the god of knowledge.
That's what I'm talking about. We haven't exactly seen any of those yet.
Yeah,
You're just not looking in the right place.
perhaps.
Apparently
But
not.
well, and you also don't go in and be like, "Where's the temple to Scientia? I want to pray." You know, it's kind of like, I'm gonna look around the library. Do 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 do.
Well, if we ever find normal civilization again, perhaps I'll give it a shot.
Maybe. Yeah, the last true area you guys would have been at that would have had a temple would have been when you guys were on Hofking.
Yeah.
Which, notably, little preoccupied with. So, you guys wish to head out?
Well, first I'm going to confront Dinok and say, I did not realize that Nock was behind your wife's curse. Nobody told me this.
Considering I just found out from Pan himself, I was going to take some time to think about things. After all, if you're told information that basically changes your entire thought process, that basically says everything you thought you knew is now null and void, well, it would take you a little bit to reconcile, wouldn't it?
Fair. I didn't realize that you just found this information out. On kind of just told me.
Wow, way to just leave all my secrets out there like dirty laundry.
If you think that's bad, he told me things that I already knew.
Like what?
I have the blood of an original. My weave has been tangled since birth. Um, how the weave works in all living things, how it produces magic. Uh, I I just kind of know magic, but I don't actually understand it. And if I want more answers, I had to find Scientia.
Mm-hmm.
I'm afraid what that was for.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
Too bad. I'm worried.
That's a you problem then.
um.
So, what do we do now?
Well, during our discussion yesterday, we learned that there is a temple to Pan, not too far from here, that is being overrun with, uh, undead of various stature.
Oh, that stinks.
Cardin decided to speak up for the group and say we would take care of it. Honestly,
Oh,
I'm
joy.
not too against it. Again, Pan gave me more knowledge about the entire situation than I had any scrap of learning for 10 years. So, spending the amount of magic I did last night and clearing a temple, I suppose, our recompense?
I don't want to have to go back it down into a dank, dirty, smelly dungeon again, but I don't know what I'd do without you guys, so I suppose I have no choice.
Probably die.
I died with you guys, and I would have been better off staying home,
Sorry,
honestly.
sorry, I misspoke. Probably die again.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Valinar.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
If I'd never been dragged into all of this, I'd just be sitting in my lab, working on a fix for my people and for myself. But instead, I get to go into dungeons with you people and die.
Hey, it's better than what I'd be doing if I wasn't here.
What would you be doing if you weren't?
Hiding and trying not to be killed.
That's not really different than what we're already doing.
Yes, but I'm less likely to die with you guys.
Remind me to not come with you when you decide to go back to your home.
I have a plan for that.
Oh?
Yes, it's called not being me.
Huh?
I don't understand.
Valar just holds up his disguise kit.
Oh wow.
I'm
Too
not
bad
going to
you
be
can't-
me.
It's too bad you can't use magic to disguise yourself like I do.
Maybe you could help him on that. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge.
Well, when you're finally done with your scrying scroll, perhaps I can teach you maybe how to alter self or polymorph.
At that, Dinar's gonna take a minor double take, hold it. Oh, for crying out.
You've seen him use that spell before.
I know, but it just never clicked that, polymorph for anything other than a combat situation.
He can be our pet dog for the whole time we're there.
Sure. If you choose to stay indoors and only let him out once, for a couple hours at a time.
Well, yeah. It's because I can only cast it 4 times a day at the most. 3 times, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. I can't count.
That's kind of sad whenever you're our math guy.
I wasn't looking at my spell slots.
I also just went, wow, that escalated quickly because it jumped from like 3 to 6.
Yeah. I was counting only the 4th level spell slots, but I forgot you can upcast. If I get really creative and do some spell conversion with my sorcery points, I might be able to cast it 7 or 8 times.
But that requires big brain.
It requires extra thinking and not dedicating my magic to anything else.
It's math corner, everyone.
Oh.
On that note, since Math and I are not friends, I'm gonna dip out for the night.
we're
Good
almost
night.
All right.
we're
Good
almost
night,
done,
Kara.
so see you, Katie.
See ya.
So, anything else for you, adventurers?
Well, do we want to hit the road towards the temple, or do we want to keep going and talking to On repeatedly instead of clearing his temple?
Well, if what you say is true and this corruption is spreading, then it's probably best if we go and get it over with.
Carden, how does that sound to you?
That sounds perfectly fine with me. I was about to suggest that anyways.
Alrighty,
Sure you were.
Onward.
Yes. I've been
guys.
thinking for a little while that we need to start heading towards the
Okay. So, here is the thing. He has given you a direction. He has told you that it's about a day's travel.
Excuse me.
And that about... So, what you would see is... After about a half a day's travel in an eastward direction, no need for any checks or anything like that. You guys are still technically part of On's domain. You have very little to worry about until you get closer to the edge. Excuse me. So, as you guys begin to get... So, the first half of the day, uneventful. And as you guys continue to travel, the music of the birds chirping begin to get quieter and quieter until eventually it fades into the background. And you guys are left with just this kind of eerie quiet as eventually you even see the dark shadows of the forest kind of reaching out, kind of forming this almost natural dark barrier up against kind of the edge of where On's protection extends to. Where is a decent? No,
Ooh.
not that one.
But I like that one.
That one's coming in later.
Oh,
Oh, no.
This'll do. Just
Ooh.
real low. Just real low. As
Birds start to sound more like crows.
for all the dead. And
Ooh.
where did it go? Motherfucker, there it is. you can clearly see where this kind of corruption begins as the plants and trees in this area, kind of along with the darkened shadows, begin to turn this kind of dark color with their bark. The greenery kind of fading away to almost black in some of the plants. A lot of the plant life here appears dead. These trees kind of are leaning and twisted and knotted with the bark kind of this dark color almost reaching out in different directions, like hands extending towards what could be safety. And the twisting of the knots, you can almost see this like cruel tortured like face in some of the trunks. And you guys have reached the edge of the forest where On's protection ends and the corruption of the temple begins. As you guys take that first step into out of the protection that On gives you and into this layer of forest, the air in the area suddenly becomes heavier. Not so much that it's difficult to breathe, but a sense of almost like a reminder of being back on the islands. How the air is, or no, that's thinner. Never mind. I fucked up. I cast gift. I cast gift of gab. Y'all forget it. But the air is. You'll have to look the spell up. I'll share it with you later. The spell ends. The air is kind of heavier and it kind of sits with you for a moment. It's not enough to make it hard to breathe or uncomfortable.
Like a lingering dread that rests upon our shoulders.
Yes. It's noticeable. And if you guys, anything you guys wish to do, or are you guys gonna continue to just press on?
I'm gonna.
We already pressed on.
Dinak, what did you say?
Well, first, let me do this.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna feel the magic in the area, see if it's like indicating.
Go ahead and make an Arcana check. 14? Necromantic. Heavy necromantic energies and magic flowing through the land here.
So is it like active necromancy, or is it just subversion of the natural order of life? Like, am I feeling a necromancer like myself? Or am I feeling just the dead not staying dead?
I'm gonna say with a 14, you're not sure.
Okay.
And if there's nothing, if you guys wish to continue to just push forward,
I'm gonna cast light. What am I gonna cast it on? I'm just gonna use light to just make myself feel better.
Okay, that's pretty easy enough. You do so, and it may not be. It helps a little bit. The area is still pretty dark, and it does light up even more. Kind of some of the dead branches and trees and stuff like that. It has its pros and cons of being able to see things more visibly. Funny enough, though, the vision that you were seeing with your dark vision, very little changes.
Yeah. I was doing it more for a comfort measure than
Mm-hmm.
like a nightlight
Yeah.
than for actual, being able to see. But
Yeah.
if it helps Valinar,
I mean, it's not dark enough that he couldn't see. It's more just everything in this area is already basically grays and blacks and that kind of a color anyway. So, but as you guys continue to press on, unless there's anything else anyone else would like to do.
I'm good.
Eventually, you guys reach the outside of a stone kind of building with a variety of plants out front. The building itself doesn't appear to be kind of like overgrown. You can definitely see that there is a presence of plant life, and everything seems to be mostly intact here. The only thing that really stands out is the obvious, like, JoJo menacing words kind of emanating from the door around the temple. As the interior is kind of dark, and you can see kind of these doors kind of hanging open, one of them swinging slightly in the evening breeze as it. And as you guys begin to approach the stairs that lead up into the mouth of the temple, that is where we'll go ahead and end it for the night.
Whew! Heavy stuff tonight.
Yeah, and for a little bit of a lighter note, I'll go ahead and show you guys the temple,
ooh,
because I have the first thing here kind of laid out for y'all. I'm just doing a couple real quick checks here. Well, kablam.
Huh.
So
that
this is
almost
just,
looks friendly. Almost.
so there's the kind of front of the temple that I spent a little bit of time working on.
Are those plants, those black things, all dead plants?
For the most part, yes.
And that must be on way in the back here.
Correct. But yeah,
Sweet.
we'll dive more into this next week. And I'm going to go ahead and put us back over here for as we wrap up here. So, thank you guys so much for coming out and joining us. I hope all of you guys enjoyed this. I hope my players had fun. As always, I hope everyone has fun. That's my biggest goal as a DM.
What if I didn't have fun, huh?
We'll talk about it.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You know I have fun with it. Even if it's not fun, I will have fun with it somehow, some way.
but with that, oh, real quick, probably should have said this at the beginning of stream, but I kind of forgot. We are going to go to kind of take a somewhat of a break. We're going to be changing our schedule for our campaign for a little while. I'm not sure how long exactly. But the World of Mundus will come to you every other Friday going forward. So there will not be a session next week, but the following week on the 10th, we will be right back here for another to find out what's inside the temple. This is largely due to just giving me time to finish up school, classes, homework, be a father, be present, and kind of just maintain my sanity. This also gives me an opportunity to do some other things with the channel, as well as look for some potential commissions for art and stuff, because there are some things that I want to get done. and I don't really want to be like, hey, can you rush this and then not get good work. So that's it for me. I'm going to do my best to make sure that the YouTube and podcasts are up to date afterwards. But I'm going to bed because I'm tired and I have a lot to do tomorrow.
Yep.
In
I
the
feel
meantime,
that.
you guys have a good night. Enjoy your holiday weekend, and if you don't celebrate the holidays, you do now because you get a 3-day weekend. So,
Funny.
what?
I get a
Sorry.
4-day weekend, but that's just how my off day falls.
Oh, wow, you got lucky then.
Yes, I did.
So
I should have had a 4-day weekend, but inventory.
I mean, I almost worked Monday for that nice sweet time, double time technically is what it would be. But
fair.
but yeah, then it was like we're gonna do a party on Monday, and I went, damn it, guess I'm not working. Anyway, thank you guys all for chumming and joining us. We'll see you guys all next time. Remember that's June 10th, which will be the next show. You guys have a good night and enjoy your weekend. And
See
y'all
y'all.
next time.
Night, y'all.
So long.
Night night.